In this issue, we will simulate and restore a strange train rear-end accident. Let's rewind the time to March 9, 1927. On this day, 6 trains departing from Jinan were traveling on the Jiaoji Railway line. The train's final destination was Qingdao. Construction of the Jiaoji Railway began in 1899, it was officially opened to traffic in 1904, it is an important transportation route across Shandong. Train 6 was a mixed passenger and freight train, carrying hundreds of passengers and several hundred tons of cargo. The environment of the train car was very poor, it is what we call a maroon car, there are no seats in the carriage, no windows. Only some handles were installed in the carriage, somewhat similar to the handles on the bus. The fare of this kind of train is more affordable, it was very popular at that time, that's why the train 6 was packed with people. Most of the passengers wanted to go to Qingdao. Then they would take the boat out of China to make a living. After a period of time, train number 6 it stopped at the Kurikuchi station for business. After the 6 trains have finished their business, it slowly leaves the station. Shortly after the 6 trains left Sanko station. Under Secretary of the Ministry of Transportation and Communications Jung, who inspected the Jiaoji Railway, Hongnian arrived at Sanko station on the 4 express trains. The speed of train 4 was much higher than the speed of train 6, therefore, the duty officer of Sanko station arranged train 4 to stop at Sanko station and waiting for the 6 trains ahead, then arrange for the 4 trains to leave. The purpose of this arrangement: to prevent the 4 trains from tailgating the 6 trains. But on the 4th train was the Minister of Transportation, Zheng Hongnian. That he waited for a long time, he thought, why hasn't the train left yet? So he arranged for someone, he went to ask the duty officer at Sanko station. The officer on duty told him, there was another 6 trains in front of him. Zheng Hongnian waited for a while longer, couldn't wait any longer. So he spoke to the deputy director of the Anxious Railroad Bureau, hurry to release the 6 trains. Anxious, the deputy director of the Anxious Railroad Bureau also conveyed this meaning to the deputy director of the train service. The deputy director of the train service department also conveyed this message, conveyed to the section chief conveyed this message to the deputy station manager of Sanko station. After the deputy station manager received the instruction, the 4 trains were released illegally. The 4 trains left the station without any problems. Then, step by step, they approached the 6th train. Let's go back to the 6 trains. It is very strange that the driver and the conductor were not driving the train at their respective posts. Instead, they were sitting in a corner of the carriage smoking a big cigarette. I can't imagine. At this time there is only one person inside the cockpit, that is the furnace thought. He is now multitasking. He is responsible for both burning the fire and driving the train, busy as hell. At this moment, train 6 just arrived at the position of a ramp. The already slow 6 trains, the speed of travel is even slower. At this point Silu was already a little busy. He had to keep adding coal to the steam engine, he also had to drive the train. Then Silu simply stopped the train, put all his energy into the day coal life, because only the more coal days, the more power the train had, the stronger it would be. Later the train driving up to be more powerful. But Silu parking days coal. This action, for this accident, laid the groundwork. The driver and the conductor at this time was excitedly smoking a big cigarette. Mental state is depressed. The 4 express train, on which Jung Hong-nim, the Undersecretary of Transportation, was riding, was speeding up and approaching the 6th train. A disaster was about to happen, since it was nighttime. Traffic visibility was not very good. By the time the 4 express trains spotted the 6th train ahead, it was already too late. The last 4 trains crashed into the 6 trains stopped on the tracks at high speed. The 2 trains were involved in a serious rear-end accident. The accident resulted in the tragic death of 36 people. Jiaoji Railway Administration compensated the victims 300 yuan each. And after the pillow shutdown, Zheng Hongnian, Minister of Transportation, was riding in the carriage at the rear of the train, was spared, and the government driver of train 4 jumped out of the train just before the rear end, and the driver and conductor, who smoked big cigarettes at the first moment after the rear end, escaped from the scene. So far they have not been found, but the group of people mentioned earlier who violated, the people involved in the train, have been held accountable accordingly. May this kind of thing not happen again. The warning bell will ring long.